Hey, it's me. I'm back here on YouTube. I just wanted to do a brief update with you because I haven't really been here in a while. I just got a new box charm box in the mail today, but I do not want to do that right now. I'm not in the mood at this time to do that. But as you can see, we are living in boxes. Place is a mess, but it's neither here nor there. We are living in boxes. Oh, there's more. At this time because we were to be going to be moving into a house, our first house we were going to be moving into. And I was so excited, and Daniel was mad excited, and his daughter Kaylee was also mad excited. We were just all kinds of mad excited. And moving into our first home together, our first house that we were going to be owning. And it was a very stressful, painful few weeks that we've just experienced. Probably like maybe more than that. I'm not sure, but anywho, it was a very stressful time. Although we were so excited to moving into our first home together, and and we were so ready. And yesterday I felt so defeated, but then Daniel was like, "Don't worry, everything is going to turn out fun." And think positively. And the good news is we don't have to deal with that mess anymore and that seller anymore. It was the seller from hell. Like, if I could make a Lifetime movie about him and our experience, I totally would, or pitch it to Lifetime. Lifetime, are you listening? Mm-hmm. Anywho's, so we were going to be moving into this house that I am going to miss the front porch of. I'm trying not to cry. I haven't cried yet, but I'm trying not to cry. Missing that front porch that was so beautiful. The front porch with this P, excuse me. The front porch was like the best part of the house, besides like the massive sizes of bedrooms compared to everything else we had seen up to that point that like were likable by us, you know what I mean? And you may or may not. So anyway, the front porch was close to my dream front porches. So it was a Cape style house, and the front porch had like this front deck area where you can like sit in like a rocking chair and like rock and just chill out there and like get a bench swing. Like I was dreaming about that and how nice it would be to just sit out and just take in the peace and quiet because it was pretty quiet out there. It was like out in the boonies, like they call it, I guess you'd say, like kind of sort of part of New Jersey. One of the many parts of New Jersey that's like pretty rural and quiet for the most part. And it was just really nice area for us. And the seller from pretty much the day one, like the original story was, right, we placed an offer. Before we actually placed the offer, I asked my agent friend that we're using if, because we did not see anywhere in the house where there was a laundry hookup, if that's something that he could do for us. And this was before our offer was accepted. This is our first offer on the house. And, or like, this was our offer on the house. But before we placed the offer, she asked him for us if he would do that, and he said no. And I'm like, screw you, but okay. And then he wound up picking somebody else's offer. Then when it came back to us, like I knew he was not going to do the laundry, so that's something that we would have to be responsible for financially to take care of. Besides getting the equipment, the appliances, we would have to hire somebody to hook it up. And I'm like, all right, fine, we'll do that. That's one of the things that we'll definitely be responsible for. And so he wound up canceling on the first offer that he had accepted. I don't remember if the buyers canceled it or he canceled it, but I think he was the one who canceled it. Knowing the way this guy is, he probably did cancel it because the people were asking too many questions and he didn't like it. This guy happens to be a lot of bad words, not to mention seemingly psychotic, greedy as hell, and possibly bipolar. Because let me get into this with you. So, one of the things that um, was a lot. All right, so it was a fixer upper. The guy flipped it, and when he flipped it, he did not do a lot of the things to code. And codes are generally speaking meant for safety regulations that have to do with the construction or renovations and so forth of a home. For the most part, like that's like a basic definition or description of like what that is. And he failed to do that. And then he failed to correct any of it, even though the inspection people placed in the reports that he is responsible for doing it. And at some point in the beginning of whatever, he said he wouldn't mind, he would be willing to fix, excuse me, the septic system because it had septic and well. Excuse me again. I just had some strawberries. And so he had one point earlier on with us. He said he'd be willing to fix the septic or make any repairs on it that need to be done if there's anything that needs to be done. So after the inspection, we were going over, like, I sent an email to our people, I'm not naming names, so it's not important. And, on behalf of me and Daniel, because I'm the one that does all, like, that kind of work for us, so I sent them this long email with uh, what we would like to be done, very reasonable stuff, and then and basing a lot of it on what the inspection report says, what it said, and in all these different areas. And the guy was mad that we had like a mold test and like some other tests, and like we're moving into his house. He never lived in it. He renovated it, but he never lived in it. Like, we really have no history, not much history of that house. There were things that in the end he lied about things because he did not disclose pertinent information that normally you would disclose about a property. That's another problem that we had with him. And our list of things we were going to take responsibility for was much less than his. If you were to look at it on paper, and the things that we required from him were because the hot water was not on. There was carpenter bees, and they found really bad molds in the basement, but they couldn't figure out how, and they think it was something to do with the structure. And that's where the bees came from too. The carpenter bees were not from the area itself. It was from the materials that this guy used to to do his construction on the house. Where the hell is he getting his wooden stuff from? Lord only knows. I don't know. I don't want to know. I'm just like, oh, it was a home buying experience from hell with the seller from hell. Oh, on top of that, so the hot water wasn't on. The air conditioning they couldn't put on at the inspection, so we had to wait until like the temperature was right when we went to see it again, just to look it over. And so yeah, the hot water had not been turned on. The water pressure was an issue at first, but then like we got it to work okay. It just hadn't been on for a while, so the water just didn't know what to do, and it was turning on again. It was like, how do we flow? How do we flow? And the well had to be redone, which he did. And because that there was no water like flow from the well, it was like shot. So he redid that. And then he wound up refusing to do anything with the septic except credit us $3,000, which was definitely insufficient. I think it's insufficient because it would have cost us at least 10 to 15 thousand for the septic alone, not including everything else that needed to be done, including the bees, and then the mold we found out about, and like greedy as hell, psychotic, a liar, definitely a thief, and like I had already worked out a decent amount of money like towards the down payment because we're taking out a mortgage because we don't have that kind of cash to put out. Like we're young, regular working class peoples. So besides that, excuse me. Besides that, let me see what I was thinking with this. Oh my god, found out about the mold. This was yesterday, probably, and 2 days ago, 1 or 2 days ago, Monday, Tuesday. No, we found out Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we found out about the mold, and one of the molds was related to penicillin, from my understanding, and I'm highly allergic to it. I got that from my mother, and I'm like, no. And that, if you look at the mold tests, the air quality test with the mold, you would see that like pretty much all the mold in the basement had nothing to do with water, and it was like other factors, like external factors that I don't know what this guy did. What did he do? I don't know. So it was just like a nightmare. A nightmare. So I'm just like, I went to Daniel and I was ready to just fork over the money and pay for everything. But then he said he's got a big moral code that it would be immoral and and all kinds of wrong. My space, not in here, but here. It would be absolutely morally wrong and everything to buy a house from this. Well, Daniel isn't really cursed. I do, but from this piece of POS, and I was like sad, but I thought it over and I was like, you're right. Why would I want to give my money to somebody as horrible as this guy? We're not doing that. So we decided after all this hassle and annoyance to cancel it ourselves after this guy had tried canceling it like at least 3 times, literally, because he's a jerk, doesn't want to do anything. So good luck to you trying to sell that house to somebody, trying to find somebody who's dumb and stupid and naive, or just dumb and stupid, unlike we are, that's going to be stupid enough to buy that from you. And we also noticed that, and my sister pointed this out to me, which when I told when I told her that we canceled the house, she was like, "That's great news." It's so freaking annoying. My family is like horrible when it comes to this. Anything that they send to us, either I've already seen, it doesn't make sense. Like my sister sent me an adult community house today after I told her do not send me any freaking houses because either the houses she sent to me are already taken or we don't like them or I've already seen them because I've seen everything like during the time where I was house hunting online before we even saw houses. A lot of them are like not good. And she literally sent me a listing today that was 2 beds. We need at least 3, and it was in a senior community. And I'm like, stop! Like seriously, between her and other people on my family, and the crazy thing is, Daniel's family loved the house. I don't know why my family is so like ridiculous. It's freaking annoying, annoying, and it's like you're not even gonna be living there. So what does it matter to you? Am I right? Am I right? And why, like, I'm not 55 yet. Daniel's not 55 yet. He just turned 40. I'm 37 and a half, almost. We're not 55 yet. And I'm like, as soon as it's not 2 bedrooms, because most of the houses around here that are 2 bedrooms are adult community. Hello. So that was something like annoying as hell. And what else? What else with these home things? So we're trying to regroup. I'm really sad about the porch in the house. But I was like, I'm gonna continue to pack. And we're gonna like try living like we would be if we were paying for the mortgage. And then like I found another house today that my agent sent to me that is honestly very expensive, but I know it's gonna go for more. But and the taxes are mad expensive too. Like already, it's like, but I would still like to see it because you never know, and it might be like other homes that we didn't like because they smelled. Like we're in New Jersey and we're by the shore, and a lot of the houses that we walked into, as soon as you walk in, you smell mold, you smell mildew. I don't know about other people, but I did. Like I have a nose for that kind of stuff, and I'm not even kidding. I could walk into a house and like know right away if there's a problem. My nose tells me. I'm like Toucan Sam. You gotta follow your nose. But yeah, like they do, and it's disgusting. Like you wouldn't believe how many houses I've walked into, and right away I smell something unpleasant. Even with the mask on, I could smell it. It's disgusting. It's crazy, disgusting, but it's disgusting. Besides anything else, as soon as I walk in the house and it smells, hells no, I don't want that. God knows what's hiding in that and where that smell's coming from. But yeah, I'm gonna go. But I wanted to show you my kitty cats. They're so cute. Turn around. Those are my babies. Thumper's the boy in the thing here, and then Bunny's over there. Say hello, Bunny. Say hello, Bumper. Boxes. Yeah, like I'll show you real quick before we go. So yeah, I want like a swing like that, or one that's like it rocks, but like you're sitting down, like you don't have to hang up anything, and like that kind of house, but that's like an exaggerated like mansion style.